Warning, this deck list is very, very hard. Trust me when I say this. This deck list is by far the hardest deck I have ever played in Yu-Gi-Oh! By a long shot. This shit is ridiculous. It doesn't feel like you're trying to play Pendulum. It doesn't feel like you're trying to play even Yu-Gi-Oh! This deck is like Mechanites on crack. You're just taking your cards and you're just moving them around the field like they're pieces on a game board to activate various different effects and go through a whole heap of different combo lines and there's just so much stuff to remember. This deck is so goddamn hard. This shit is harder than the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Community when they found out that Haki Firebrax was getting banned. This shit is ridiculous. And it's also pretty bad. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder for the deck list, if you're enjoying today's video and want to see more content just like this in the future, remember to leave a like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel down below, especially if you're one of those returning viewers, as apparently about 50% of the people watching this or even subscribed to the channel. Nearly all of you have seen my content before, so if you find yourself keep coming back to the channel and want to see more content just like this in the future, remember to hit that subscribe button down below. Alright, let's get into the deck list. So I'm going to be completely honest here. This deck list, like I mentioned earlier, is extremely hard for a reason. That's because all your cards not only play weirdly, but they all have a ridiculous amount of text, like an absurd amount. And it's really hard for me to sort of cover everything in this deck list right now. It'd be a lot easier for me to show you how each of these cards work during the gameplay portion, the combo portion of the video. So I'm just going to give you a really brief rundown of what these cards do right now, and I mean really brief, considering this video is already going to be exceptionally long. So I'll try to cover most of the cards, but it's a lot easier for me to show you during the gameplay, so if you don't understand something, just wait to the gameplay portion of the video. Alright, so TLDR of what your monsters do. So first of all your monsters basically get their effects to activate by moving them around the field, whether that is moving them from the spell and trap card zone forward, or by moving them from left to right when they're on the field. So TLDR of what they do. This one's going to be your searcher. It will search for your monsters and your spell and trap cards. Then we have your monster movers, your Buster Baron and your Valiance Ninja. Both these cards are really good at just moving your monsters around the field to activate their various effects and bring them out of the spell and trap card zone. Then we have your Voltage Viscount. This card's very important because first of all, it's a level 4, so you can use it to go into your Gigian X and search out your Cyberstein, pay 5,000, get a hold of your Notorio Exterio. But on top of that, this card's actual effect allows you to bring out your Pendulum monsters from the extra deck and put them as either continuous spells or place them as your Pendulum monsters or your Scales. The final one is going to be, there's two more, your Seon the Valiance Archer. This card is basically just searchable removal. You add it to your hand, you can target your opponent's stuff, and then remove stuff. We also have your Hojo the Valiance Warrior. This card's important because it's actually another card you can be using to fusion summon into your big boss monster, as you'll see during the combo portion of the video. Now we'll move on to the deck's field spells, both of which are searchable off of your Valence Wars, which will not only search for them, but will also destroy a card on the field to then allow you to add your Senate Switch to hand, which is another way to move monsters around the field. So your field spells are pretty damn cool. You activate one field spell, it will activate the other to your opponent's side of the field, and they both have different effects, one of which is going to be taking your monsters from your spell and trap card zone and special summoning them forward. The other is taking your opponent's monsters and pushing them backwards into the spell and trap card zone. So they both have pretty cool effects, but do keep in mind, if there's two on the field, the effects work for the turn player, so you can use them, and then during your opponent's turn, your opponent can use them. So you generally want to remove these things before your turn ends, otherwise your opponent's going to be doing naughty things to your field. Now I'll move on to this deck's extra deck. So this extra deck has two Valence monsters, Valus Genesis Grand Duke. This card is very cool because you can either summon it with two Valence monsters, or more commonly, you can summon it by tributing one level 5 or higher non-fusion Valence monster in the same column as the extra monster zone, which is pretty easy to do considering you can just move your monsters into that column. This card can then just target one of your opponent's monsters and return it to hand. Or when it's in the Pendulum zone, you can special summon this card to the field, or you can move one of your main monster zone monsters to an adjacent monster zone. Similarly, this card actually has both those effects as well, but to summon it's a little bit more difficult. This one requires 3 Valence monsters, and during the main phase as a quick effect, you can target effect monsters your opponent controls and just put them in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. And if there's already a card occupying that spot, it will just destroy that card as well. The other new card in the extra deck is going to be your Beyond the Pendulum. This card's pretty cool. You can pay 1,200 life points to add one Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, but for the rest of this turn, unless you Pendulum Summon after this effect resolves, your Pendulum cards will be negated, so you have to Pendulum Summon after searching. This card allows you to then also, once you Pendulum Summon 2 monsters to its Link Arrows if they're different original levels, destroy 2 cards on the field, so a pretty powerful card. As to the rest of the extra deck, you guys have all seen these cards before, so you will see them during the gameplay as well. Final card I want to mention in this deck list is going to be your Small World. You have got to run Small World. Unfortunately, there is still support IRL that wasn't added to this game. Most notably, they didn't add the Searcher spell for the art type, meaning this deck, at the moment, without Small World, is the biggest brickfest you'll ever play, and it's literally just unplayable in my opinion. You need to run 3 copies of Small World, because you need to be able to search for basically anything in this deck list, especially considering Small World is beyond broken in this list. Small World, in combination with your Gizbek Okami deck, can search for or swap out basically any of your Valence cards, literally any of them. Also, not to mention, Ash Blossom is fire, and you have plenty of fire monsters. Your Max C is level 2, and you have plenty of level 2 monsters. This card is way too damn good not to run this deck list, and you need to be running it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the decklist portion of the video. As per usual, every card in here will be typed out in the description down below, so if you don't know the names of the cards in here, feel free to check the description. And without further ado, let's get into the combos. Alright, so before we get into the combos, I do have to briefly mention this, as if I don't, I'll get a lot of angry comments typed towards me. So every one of these combos is going to be using Priestess. I'm sorry, you guys are going to have to understand that this deck list is exceptionally hard, and there is way too many different lines of play you can make that just doesn't really make sense for me to show you every single one of them, especially considering a lot of them aren't really combos at that point. You're just sort of knowing how the cards work and building towards an end board. The only stuff I'm going to be showing you is the Priestess lines of play, which, to be fair, you're going to be doing basically 70% of your games, because you can search for it with Small World, which you have 3 of, and you can search for it with every single copy of your other cards in your deck list in combination with Small World. You have the 3 Priestess, and of course you have Pot of Prosperity, all of which will give you your Priestess, I think about 76% of the time, at least a 76% chance to open those cards. So if you ever open one of them, you'll probably get hold of your Priestess, and then therefore you can go into one of these combo lines I'm about to show you. It's Priestess with all the other 3 ofs in your deck list will lead to a very solid end board. But keep in mind, they're not the only end boards you can do, they're just the best ones. And they're also the only lines of play that are really considered combos. The rest of them are just you just have to know how the cards work, play them for yourself, and sort of learn how the deck functions. So 70% of the time, you can follow this combo guide, copy these combos, and just sort of end like this. The other 30% of the time, when you've got brickier hands, you're going to have to learn how to play the deck for yourself, know how the cards function, and end on different end boards of your own creation. That's just kind of how this deck list works. It's a hard deck list to learn, but once you do learn it, you will be able to do that for yourself, and you won't have to rely on just these Priestess combos. So without further ado, let's get into the combos. Alright, on to the first combo. So the first combo for this deck list is going to be using your Priestess in combination with your Buster. So first thing you do, Pendulum Scale your 2 dudes. So like all my combo videos, every single one of the cards in hand, just pretend they're complete bricks, other than the 2 cards I'm mentioning, we're just going to pretend all these are bricks, and we have to search for everything, so. Alright, so first thing you do, activate this card's effect, putting it forward. This will then give you a search for a spell. In this case, you want to grab the field spell with the control panel on the right. Alright, now you can activate this card's effect to bring it forward. This will also give you a search for... Oh, sorry, remove your card, sorry. Moving it over. Which will then give you the search for your monster, which you'll be grabbing the level 4. Alright, now you can activate your field spell, because you'll need that for later on. Putting the field spell on the other side as well. And going into your Heavy Metal Foes dude. Alright, this will place your Ninja in your extra deck, which you'll also need in just a second. Put Ninja in the extra deck. Now you can get your dude out. Activate his effect, bringing him forward. This will allow you to grab your Ninja and place it right where you need it, right in that column there. Alright, so now you can activate your field spell, well, your opponent's field spell technically. Bring in your card forward. So now it's in the perfect spot to be able to fusion summon into your dude, because if it's not in as, it's very important to place it in this particular column, because you need it below the extra monster zone. So then you can go into your fusion monster. Summoning that out. Alright, now you activate the effect of the Electromite to pop this dude. Alright, and this will give you your ninja to hand. Alright, now you can put the ninja in the scale. Bring the ninja forward. And this will now allow you to effect to move your monster on the field to the left. Which will then activate its effect to then bring back this dude to your extra monster zone. Alright, now you can activate your, sorry, you can pendulum summon, no, link summon. God, going through all the summoning mechanics. Using these 2 cards on field, making sure to keep the level 4 because you need that for later. Going into Beyond the Pendulum. Activating its effect. This allows you to pay life points to search for your other level 4. So you would need 2 level 4s for your Xyz summoning. Alright, now you can scale this. Now you notice these 2 cards are currently negated thanks to your monster's effect, but that's okay because you can simply pendulum summon, and once you do, they'll become fine to use again. Doesn't matter which ones you summon here. Just make, you had to summon the ninja, sorry. You had to summon the ninja and the other card doesn't matter. Alright, now you activate the effect of your Beyond the Pendulum to pop your 2 field spells, which may seem kind of weird, but your opponent can actually use your field spells as well, so you don't really want them on the field. At least you don't want both of them on the field. It's okay to have one of them, but if you have both of them on the field, things are going to get a bit awkward and your opponent can start doing naughty things to your cards, so probably best to remove them. Alright, now from here, you can now go into a copy of your... Where was I? Oh yeah, sorry, you can activate your Valence dude. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. Alright, moving a monster to the left, moving your ninja to the left, using your fusion guy. This will activate the ninja's effect to then bring one of your back row cards forward. So bring the level 4 forward. Alright, now you have 2 level 4s, so you can go into a copy of your Geargigan X. And because we've done all this without using a normal summon, we can now search for a copy of your Stein. Activates effect, getting rid of this dude. Adding your Cyber Stein to hand. Normal summon Stein. Doesn't really matter. Oh, it did actually matter, didn't it? No, it's fine. Paying this life points, summoning out your Notorio Exterio. Alright, now you can go into your Link 3, your Apollousa. Using this dude in combination with this dude and this dude. And there's your Apollousa. And then your 2 cards on field, you can make a copy of your Masquerainer. And that is basically your end board. A pretty damn hard end board for your opponent to out if they don't have things like Droplet or Dark Ruler no more, as effectively you have a bunch of monster negates and you have literally like near infinite spell and trap card negates, so your opponent can't use spell and trap cards outside of things like Dark Ruler or Droplet, and they can barely use monster effects. And if they can do anything, you still have a Masquerainer to maybe go into a Nightmare Unicorn or even a Nightmare Phoenix if you need that as well. I think you can even go into a copy of your Crusadia as well. You can go into a bunch of things with this deck now. Alright, on to the second combo. So this combo is going to be using Priestess in combination with your Marquez. Alright, so first thing you do, once again, scale your 2 cards. Alright. Now you can use this card, bring it forward. Searching for your spell. This time we're going to be searching for your spell that allows you to destroy a card on the field as well, so your Valence Wars. This card allows you to search for your field spell, which will be searching the control panel on the right once again, and allows you to pop a card on the field, so you'll be popping your dude in the scale. This gives you your Senate Switch. Alright, so you can put the Senate Switch on the field, activate the field spells for later on, and this one the opposite. And now you can activate the Switch's effect to move this card to the left, or to the right. Alright. This card's effect goes off, giving you a search for a monster. Once again, grabbing the level 4. Scaling the level 4. Bringing it forward. Activating its effect, then grab your level 6, placing it in the zone below the link, the extra monster zone, sorry. So you can activate your opponent's field spell, bring it forward. And now you can use the, you actually use this card's effect to roll a dice if you like. This is not part of the combo, but you can if you like, because it potentially gives you an extender. Top 4, you can grab any of the Valence cards that you see. We're just going to pretend though we completely bricked here though, so just pretend you didn't draw that. I'm just showing you can. Alright, from here you can now go into your fusion monster using the high level monster here. Now you have these 2 cards on field, you can make your heavy metal foes. Bring that out to the field. Alright, Heavy Metal Foe is going to be activating its effect, being able to grab a copy of your ninja, put that in the extra deck. And now you can use the effect, once again, to getting rid of one of the field spells, so your opponent can't use them. Alright, and this will allow you to add the ninja to hand. Alright, put the ninja in the pendulum scale once again. Bring the pendulum forward. Now you can use its effect to move your card to the left. This will then bring out the fusion monster, putting it in the scale. So you can once again go into your Beyond the Pendulum using these 2 cards on field. Use your Beyond the Pendulum's effect. Searching for your other level 4. Alright, so you once again scale this. Their effects are once again negated. So you have to Pendulum Summon. Bring out either 2 dudes, doesn't really matter. As long as you get the, sorry, it does matter as long as you get the ninja. Alright, putting the ninja over here. I'm going to be grabbing your dude over here. Not going to use that card's effect. Now we can use this card's effect safely to move a card on the field to the left, moving your ninja. Ninja can then bring the card from the back row forward. And this gives you the 2 level 4s, so you can go into. And from here, you guys have already seen this, so you go into your Giga and exactly the same as last time, just summoning this to the field. Doesn't really matter what zones you're putting it in for this one, so just this, detach, grab your Stein. Stein, summon it, use its effect, pay a bunch of life points, summon out your Exterio. Then from here, you can make your Apollosa, and your dude, and your dude. And you still have the 2 cards on field to go into Masquerena as well. And there's your end board, exactly the same as the previous one, just with a different start this time. Yeah, there you go. Alright, on to the next combo. Alright, on to combo number 3. So this combo is going to be using Priestess in combination with your Ninja. So once again, just scale the 2 cards. This one's going to look very similar to the previous combo. Alright, it's going to look slightly different because you can end on a different end board this time. Actually using one of the Valence's fusion monsters. So this is going to look very similar, so I don't really have to explain too much. It's basically the exact same as before. Adding your wars, activating your wars, blah blah blah, destroying your card, adding your thing, same as well before. Adding your control panel dude. Destroying your card. Getting your Senate switch, activating your field spell, activating your switch, giving your opponent a field spell to use later on. Putting the switch on the field, activating the switch to move your card. Giving your search for the level 4. Giving the level 4 when I find him over here. Putting him on the field. Bring him forward. This way you can activate your... Oh, sorry, to bring it out first. Bring your ninja out, put it in the column below the thingy. Activate the field spell, bring it forward. Exactly the same as before, by the way. Exact same combo. Now you can bring out the fusion card. Alright. So now you can go into your metal foes. Alright. Activate your metal foes. And this is where the combo differs, because before you'd have to search for your ninja. We already have the ninja, so now we can actually grab the red. Put the red over there, activate this dude's effect, pop the field spell. And then it returns back to the same combo as before. Exactly the same. Add the ninja to hand. Summon the ninja out. Bring it forward, move the dude. Bring the fusion monster to the back row. Alright, use you, grab you, move you over. Your effect. Gives a copy of you, put you there. Alright, now once again go into your Beyond the Pendulum. So same combo as before, exactly the same. We've now just got this dude in the extra deck, which we'll use in just a second. Using that effect. Grabbing the level 4. Alright, putting level 4 on the field. Their effects are currently negated, so we have to Pendulum Summon. And this is where a very important step happens. So this is where placing actually matters. So you're going to need to put the purple on the left and the red in the middle. Very important to do this, otherwise you'll screw yourself over in a second. Alright, not going to use that card's effect. Now we can go into your moving this thing forward by moving your purple to the right. Activating his effect, move this dude forward. Alright, activating a copy of your Gear Gigant. Putting this on the field. And placing matters as well here as well. So you do not want to get a, you do not want to have your Notorio Exterio in this position. If it's in this position, you're going to screw yourself over. So you can use this card's effect, attach this, add a copy of your Cyberstein, put Cyberstein on the field, pay the life points, give you your Exterio. Now you want to free up some board space for yourself, so you're going to make your Apollousa using these 3 cards, same cards as before. Alright. And now, instead of going into your Masquerainer, which you still could here, we're going to use your Hojo's effect to return the Senate Switch to hand, so we can reuse it again. This will now allow us to move this dude on the field to the right, and activate his effect, which then allows us to do a fusion summon of your big boss monster, your big Giga Chad. Alright, using your, not using the card in hand, so pretending that's not there. And this is how you summon out this deck's biggest boss monster. And there it is. So you got Apollousa, got your Disruption from your Mamonoka, I have no idea how to pronounce that, and of course your Exterio. Alright, onto the final replay. This one's going to be a combination of your Priestess in combination with your Viscount. Alright, so first scale your 2 dudes, same as before. And we'll start off looking pretty ordinary. So we'll just try to speed through this a little bit. Put your 2 forward, search for your spell. Add your spell. Activate your Wars, which will pop your card and search for your field spell. Alright, activating the field spell. Setting the Senate Switch. Well, not setting it, placing it. Alright, now you can use this effect, move your card to the left, and here's where things get a little bit different, because now we're going to be searching for something we don't normally search for. Searching for your single copy of red. Alright. So red we can place on the field. Bring it forward. Then use red's effect to put this card back in hand. Which, since it's not a hard once per turn, we can reactivate it. And move your card over. Not activating its effect, but now it's in the perfect zone to be able to fusion summon out your big boy, because it's below an extra monster zone. Summon this card out. Make your Metal Foes. So we can get a hold of the Ninja, because Ninja's not in the extra deck yet, and we do need the Ninja. Alright. Activate Metal Foes. Find your Ninja. Chuck that shit in the extra deck. Use this card's effect to then pop the Senate Switch, because we no longer need it. Bring out the Voltage. Place the Voltage. Activate its effect to bring it forward. This now means you can bring out your Ninja. Grab the Ninja, put the Ninja over here. Activate your field spell. Move the Ninja forward. So now you can use its effect to now move this card to the right. And things will start to look a little bit more ordinary now. Because now we're just grabbing your thing, same as similar combos from before. We can now go into your big dude. Making sure to leave the level 4 on the field, because we need that for the XCs. Alright, Beyond the Pendulum, searching for the other level 4. Wherever it is. Oh, there it is. Alright, scaling up this dude. Negated its effect, that's fine, we just Pendulum Summon out anyway. Using these two cards here. Making sure, very important, that you put the purple on the right, because you need to move it in a second. So purple on the right, other card on the left. Alright, now you can pop the 2 field spells on the field, so your opponent can't do anything naughty with your cards. Alright, from here, activate this card, bring the level 4 forward. Oh, sorry, move the ninja to the right, then bring the level 4 forward. Bring this dude up. And now we have, basically, you can make your own board, so same stuff as before. Level 4, level 4. Bring it out. Zones don't matter here because we're not making the fusion monster, so you do whatever you like. Get your Cyber Stein. Normal your Stein. Activate its effect. Pay 5,000. Summon out your Exterio. And now you can make your Appaloosa. Using the same 3 cards as before. And you still have 2 monsters on field to make your Link 2, your Masquerena. And that is the final end board for this combo, ending on your Masquerena, your Naturi Exterio, and of course your Appaloosa. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the combos for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you did, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.